of the little genius, also known as the bride. And as of about 3 hours ago, I am the father-in-law of the tall Norwegian. Now, I want to echo what Christopher Sr. said, which is that we are absolutely delighted to welcome Christopher into our family. I didn't even have to meet Christopher to like him. As soon as I heard that he had sailed across the North Sea, that kind of sealed the deal, since I've been sailing since I was 7 years old. So we welcome him into the family. We have had very pleasant days staying at the cabin, which I think is a completely wrong word. I think it should be described as house. Christopher Sr. and Teresa. They have been incredibly gracious, hospitable hosts, and we can't wait to see them in Chicago, although we cannot promise them the type of Nordic adventures we've been exposed to here. I think that it speaks volumes, not just about Annie, but also about all of you, that we have such an incredibly eclectic group from here tonight. Annie has a talent for making friends wherever she is. And not just casual friends, but longtime, loyal, trustworthy friends who are willing to put up with the vagaries of flying through Germany and Amsterdam to get here and losing all their luggage. So we have people here from from Annie's high school days, her college days, her time at Oxford, she spent 4 years in Paris where she was part of a writers group. So we have Parisians here, people from law school, people that she clerked with. We have Michelle, the assistant for Judge Wilkins of the D.C. Circuit Court of Appeals, who came all the way from Washington, D.C. to be here. We have people who have traveled from Sacramento, San Diego, San Francisco, Seattle, New York, Washington, D.C., Bar Harbor, Maine, London, and Paris. It's amazing. It's a testimony to both you and Annie. Now, Annie told me that I had a pretty high bar for this toast. I was supposed to make you cry and laugh. So I'm going to start with the crying part, okay? Some of you may know I've been dealing with cancer for quite a while. 6 months ago, it was not even clear that I could be here. But fortunately, thanks to good doctors and President's genes, I am here and feeling pretty good. And what I learned through my experiences is that what counts most in life is simply friendships. And I think Annie is living proof of that, and that's why we're so very, very proud of her. Now for the real toast. I prepared, like Annie, very, very diligently for this toast. I have been working on it for 35 years. I first ensconced myself in the official Annie Prosnitz presidential archives. Those are located in the basement of 203 Forest Avenue, Oak Park, Illinois. Every single piece of paper that Annie has generated ever since Montessori has been painstakingly preserved in shrink-wrap plastic. I wasn't content to stop there. I did a deep dive, serious research, consulting sources such as Wikipedia, Socrates, Chat GBT, and the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. So what can we learn from the Annie archives? Well, first, there is an undated purple post-it note entitled, quote, Annie's Perfect Boy, close quote. My guess, if we can call this piece of post-it note a document, is that this document was prepared sometime perhaps in the preteen years. And I'm sure you want to know, what are the desired characteristics of the perfect boy, and how does Mr. Christopher exactly check the boxes, okay? Well, desired characteristic number one is the appearance of a Moroccan sheik. Number two is a witty demeanor. Three, I think he's checked this box tonight, being a passionate kisser. The next one is being well-versed in literature, and finally, having an appreciation for starry nights. Okay. So Annie's, as you may know, Annie is a litigator, and her litigator instincts were fully formed by age 6. She wrote an essay entitled, quote, Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, close quote. In that essay, 6-year-old Annie explains that she has purchased 1 billion chocolate bars, enough to start a chocolate factory in her own house. She proclaims that if she does not find a winning golden ticket in one side of those bars, 6-year-old Annie is going to sue Willy Wonka. Now, by age 9, long before Annie met Christopher, she expressed an interest in outer space. She wrote a short story about a spaceship named Rosebud. The spaceship had a British commander, a French organizer, which is an oxymoron, I think, and an Italian chef. The crew was content to land on Mars, but the commander, who I think was a foil for Annie, named Sasha, insisted that the crew continue on to Jupiter. Finally, and perhaps most interestingly, Annie wrote a play entirely in French, featuring Madame Framboise, a wealthy artist, Madame Chocolat, a stuck-up famous actress, Monsieur Citron, husband of Madame Chocolat, Mademoiselle Vanille, the second best tennis player in France, and Monsieur Moustrax, an energetic Broadway singer. There is even a wedding scene in this play. A minister asked Mademoiselle Chocolat, Est-ce que vous prenez Monsieur Citron être votre mari légalement? Do you take Monsieur Citron to be your lawfully wedded husband? She says yes. Now, I hesitate to tell you how this play ends, but let me underscore that this was fiction by a not fully formed teenage mind, okay? Because things do not end well in this play. Monsieur Citron is brutally murdered in cold blood by Madame Chocolat. She is sentenced to life in prison. And the motive? The motive is that Monsieur Citron was stingy and he refused to buy his wife a Rolls Royce. Now, let's move on to Wikipedia. From Wikipedia and last night's bingo card, I learned that there is an unwritten universal law in Scandinavia known as Janteloven, Janteloven, which prohibits any form of boasting about an individual's personal success. Suffice it to say, this law is completely contrary to everything I believe in. At the risk of becoming a persona au gratin in Scandinavia, I think this law should be immediately repealed. I am going to restrain myself and not list Annie's numerous accomplishments, but I will be happy to discuss with you, all of them one-on-one with you, whatever subject it involves. And I'll stop right there. And believe me, this takes a lot of restraint. All right. But I cannot forget Christopher. Christopher, once again, in potential violation of Norwegian law, I want to mention some things that Christopher has done. As his father mentioned, Christopher took several summers to restore a decrepit sailboat. He sailed it all the way from Oslo to the Faroe Islands. More recently, he built a work shed in their backyard in DC, completely from scratch. The work shed features a 3D printer, numerous power tools, numerous magnetic attachments and strips, a fully operational exhaust system. Furthermore, on a blustery day in Martha's Vineyard, in connection with Annie's wedding,
Alex's.
I'm sorry. Excuse me. Alex's wedding, Christopher rejected the offer of a full refund on a rental small sailboat. The rental manager said, "There's no way you would want to go out today given these winds and waves." Christopher said, "Are you kidding? This looks perfect." So he took a petrified, yours truly, out on a small boat. I saw absolutely nothing because every 10 seconds a wave crashed into my face, and I was totally blinded. And to complete the picture, Christopher also performed a rescue at sea. He rescued a stranded mariner who had lost his dinghy and promised Christopher a free beer for being rescued. Now, Annie has decided to use her considerable legal talents to help wrongfully incarcerated individuals. Christopher is pushing back the boundaries of optical engineering so that when Annie's Rosebud spaceship lands on Jupiter, we will be able to talk to the astronauts via laser beams. Now let's turn to the great thinkers. What advice do they have for Annie and Christopher? What do the famous Norwegian philosophers tell us about love and marriage? Nothing. In fact, I'm not even sure there are Norwegian philosophers. So I had to go a little further afield. I went to the country of Denmark. And here's what Søren Kierkegaard had to say about marriage. He said, if you marry, you will regret it. If you do not marry, you will also regret it. So if you marry or if you do not marry, you will regret both. And what about the Greeks? What did the Greeks say? Well, let's turn to Socrates. Socrates said, by all means, marry. If you get a good wife, you'll become happy. If you get a bad one, you'll become a philosopher. And finally, not to be outdone, Meredith Marks of the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City defended the institution of marriage with these stirring words. You don't go after my marriage, and you don't go after my bathtub. So, the resumes and achievements of Annie and Christopher do not define them. What defines them are their good-heartedness, their humility, their patience, their sense of humor, and their love for each other. They complete each other. Science has met poetry. Annie and Christopher, we love you. May you always have fair winds and following seas, a true course, and the courage to plow through rough weather. May you always be each other's safe harbor, no matter how far you sail on the oceans of this world or into the depths of space. May all of your days continue to be filled with joy, laughter, discovery, and adventure. May you be blessed with children. May your love continue to grow with each passing year. May God always hold you in the palm of his hands. So let us raise our glasses to Annie and Christopher, to their love, their marriage, and their journey ahead.